Okay, today we're going to be looking at some jokes. Is your body from McDonald's? Because I'm loving it. Let's do some quick daily review. A withdrawal of $300 is equivalent to minus 300. A deposit is the same thing as 278. Express the ratio in 3 different ways. Squares the total. We have 5 squares to 7 total. 5 to 7 and 5 to 7. I want to show you how to use this one, how to do this one. Then for number 4, you'll do it the same way. Find the unit rate, 40 minutes for 8 gifts. So we have 40 minutes over 8 gifts. That's going to be equal to 1 over x. Remember, a unit rate means that it's a number over 1. Well, we're missing that number, so we put an x in for the blank. Now, since we have an equation here, we can go ahead and use cross products. We have 8g is equal to 40. Next, I'll divide both sides by 8. To get g, 40 divided by 8 is 5. So what goes in the blank here is g equals 5. Let's take a look at number 4. And remember, we want to solve it in the same way we did for number 3. Our rate looks like 150 miles in 3 hours. So what does our unit rate look like? I encourage you to pause the video and try this on your own. So we have 150 miles over 3 hours equals, again, we're dealing with unit rates, so it's over 1. Now, we use cross products and get 3x is equal to 150. Divide both sides by 3. Cancel out our 3's. And get x is equal to 50. There we go. So our essential question for today is, how can you use ratios and rates to make comparisons and predictions? Lena's recipe for lemonade calls for 2 cups of lemonade concentrate and 3 cups of water. Casey's recipe calls for 3 cups of lemonade concentrated, 5 cups of water. Let's create a table to compare ratios. So I want to create a table here to compare ratios. I wish this would focus. There we go. Okay, so I don't have a ruler, so what I'm going to use is this whiteboard here as a straight edge. So I'm just going to create a rectangular table here. Mr. Dingle probably is telling us what we're doing for advisory today. Right. Okay, and I'm going to just make 4 lines inside. Make them straight. And then I'm going to draw a line down the center, like that. Okay. Okay, so we have Lena's lemonade and we have Casey's lemonade. So this first table here is going to be Lena's. So we want to write our ratio for lemonade to concentrate in the boxes here. So this is going to stand for concentrate, and this will stand for water. Okay, so what's the ratio of lemonade concentrate to water? 2 to 3. Now we want to fill in the rest of the blanks with equivalent ratios. There we go. There's our first table of equivalent ratios here. I'm going to pause the video and work on the second table. I encourage you to do the same. Okay, so I'm going to draw a line down the center. I'm going to separate our concentrate and water. So Casey's recipe calls for 3 cups of lemonade, concentrate, and 5 cups of water. This is Casey's here. So go ahead and fill in the rest of the table with equivalent ratios. Pause the video and do this on your own. 15, 12, 20, and 15, and 25. So compare the two tables and determine where the water amount is the same. Okay? The water amount, and this is the same here and here. Now that we have like denominators, here's the next question I'm going to ask you. So which person has stronger lemonade concentrate? Concentrate. Or are we just, concentrate. Casey or Lena, and why? So I'm going to write Lena's here. I'm going to write Casey's here. Okay. Do you know which one has a stronger lemonade concentrate? Well, hopefully you said Casey's, because Casey's is bigger than, hopefully you said Lena's, because Lena's is bigger than Casey's. Stella is making fruit baskets for her service club to take to a local hospital. The directions say to fill the boxes with 9 apples for every 10 oranges. Stella is filling her boxes with apples with 4 apples for every 5 oranges. Create a table to compare the ratios. All right, so we have 2 different ratios here, and we have to create 2 separate tables. So this will stand, the A will stand for apples, and the O will stand for oranges. Again, I encourage you to pause the video and try to do this one on your own. Okay, so hopefully you've tried this on your own, and now you're just going to check your answer. So our first ratio of apples to oranges is 9 to 10. I'm going to create equivalent ratios for the rest of this problem here. So I have 18 over 20. 27 over 30, and 36 over 40. That's my first table. Okay, that's what the directions say. So we're trying to figure out whether or not Stella's ratio works. I'm going to pause the video and create a second table. And again, I encourage you to do the same. So for your second table, hopefully you came up with something like this. Now, I'm going to go ahead and create equivalent ratios. And there we go. So now if we look at our 2 tables, just like the other question, we want to circle where our denominator is the same. So the recipe called for 9 out of 10. Stella used 8 out of 10. So we're looking to see if she used the correct ratio. So these two would have to equal. Does 9 over 10 equal 8 over 10? No. Therefore, we can say that Stella is not using the correct ratio of apples to oranges. So our answer, she is not using the correct table. Or she's using the correct table, but she's not using the correct ratio. Today, you learned how to create tables with equivalent ratios.